All right, welcome back. Let's get this game started. First off, I'm going to take a drink. To keep my voice fresh, I'm drinking a Yingling Hershey's Chocolate Porter, specialty beer, for today to keep my whistle working. All right. Whatever. Let's start. So first we draw the adventure card. And it says, Ned Land's temper. Before I could make a single movement to prevent him, the Canadian rushed at the poor man, threw him down, held him by the throat. The steward was choking in the grip of those powerful hands. All right, so that's our first thing, is a test. Now, we can wager both the Nemo and the crew to try to pass this test. We need a 10 or higher to pass the test. If you pass, keep this card. Pass before any future tests, roll for a +3 DRM. So that's not bad. So we definitely want to get this card. It's a keep card if we can pass the test. So if you fail and lose 1 Nemo or 2 crew, or sacrifice the Ned Land character if available, if you still have this in your tableau at the game's end, you pass if unused. All right, so I do want to keep this because 3 DRMs would be awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and wager. If I wager the crew, I get a +3 to my die roll. If I wager Nemo, I get +2. So we're at +5 before we even started. And then I would need to roll a 5 or higher to pass this. Now, is this worth doing? I don't know. I mean, we're not getting any points for adventure cards from this one, but I do want that +3 DRM if possible. I'm going to go for it, right? Let's go for it. Where am I going to place this thing so you can all can see it? Let's put it right here. All right, so I get to roll 2 dice. And I got a 5. So +3 + 2 is 10. I passed. So I get to keep this. Put this down in my tableau down here. And pass before any future test, roll for +3. So what I can do is add it to my pass deck at any time for a +3 DRM. That's awesome. Starting off great. Next, we have to do a roll for, it's called the placement phase. To place our ships. So let's see what happens. All right, so I rolled a 5 and a 4. So this does a couple different things. First off, you start from the lowest and go to the highest when you're placing your hidden ships. So I have to place a hidden ship in South Atlantic, number 4, and I have to place a hidden ship in European seas, number 5. Also, now I get to add some action points. You do a differential between your rolls. So I rolled a 4 and 5, that's 1. I get 1 more action point. So I can have 2 action points. Now as we play, you can use all of your action points, or you can always save 1 if you want to. Sometimes it's, it might be important to save 1, especially in case you're afraid of rolling and getting a null turn or a lull turn where you don't really get any additional action points and you still may want to have things to do. So that's that. All right, what do we do next? So we place the ships, use the differential roll. Now we get to take actions. You do have an action cost chart over here. Tells you how much it costs to do different actions. You will see that some actions actually are cheaper if we have a lull turn. So what do we want to do first? Well, we're in the North Atlantic seas, and science discovery is a big thing for us. So I think what we're going to do is start right off. Oh, well, it costs 2 points to do that. Well, I'm still going to do it. We're going to start off trying to get an adventure card. So adventure draw costs 2 points, or 2 action points. 1, 2. We use 2 action points. Now we will get a treasure if we do this card. The cool thing about this adventure deck is you can reveal the adventure and then decide to do it or not. If you decide to do it, then you can take advantage of gaining the collected treasure. If you choose not to, you can place it at the bottom of the adventure deck. So what is this one? Accident or incident? At 3 o'clock in the morning, I was awakened by a violent collision. I sat up in bed, listening in the darkness, and then was suddenly hurled into the middle of my stateroom. Apparently, the Nautilus had gone aground. Then heeled over sharply. Wow, that's not cool. All right, so this is a test. You've already seen us do a test. It's 9 points. You can, oh shoot, I gotta move those back. See? Yell at me if I make any mistakes. If I make any mistakes, please put them down in the comments. I'm gonna try to fix them if I see them as I go, but I'm sure I'm gonna make tons of mistakes, so please just let me know. All right, this is a test. We can wager the haul, which would give us +2 to keep this card. You may fail after any future 2d6 roll for a +2 DRM as emergency help. If you keep this in your tableau until the game's end, you can pass it, which would give us 3 adventure card points. +1 would be 4. That's not bad. Oh, geez. Or fail, lose 1 haul, and fail 1 keep card in your tableau. Ooh, I don't want to do that. All right, pass to keep this card. Yeah, I mean, I think I'm gonna do it. I think I'm gonna try to do it. If I add 2, I can use the haul. That adds 2. Let's try it. I need to get a 9, so I have to roll a 7 or higher. 2 dice. And I got an 11. We passed, so I get to keep this card. Nice. Building up our tableau. I'm going to say that word as often as I can say tableau. We do get to take advantage of the treasure. So let's go to our treasure bag and pull out a treasure. Mix it up. What do we find? Come on, baby. And, oh, it's a retain. So I can retain this. It says get rid of it to gain 1 re-roll or keep for 4 treasure points. That re-roll is amazing. That is something you definitely want to keep. So I'm going to keep this down here in my tableau in case I ever need to do a re-roll. Awesome. That's it. I did an adventure, cost me 2 victory points. So you can see, I mean, these turns can start going, you know, faster and faster as we go. But I'm still kind of learning it as we play too. I've never played the science. All right, so we've done that. So what's next? Well, next we have to go back to the draw pile. Uh-oh, Loch Ness. Here the thermocline is at only 16 fathoms. Below that, the water temperature is a steady 7 degrees. Near freezing water sinks, creating steam on the surface. But what are the locals' imaginations when seen? They think they might see the Loch Ness Monster. but it's the Nautilus. All right, another test. Oh, geez, Dad, I keep forgetting to put those back. So this is only 9 to pass it. You can utilize Nemo and the Hull to pass the test. If you pass the test, gain 1 notoriety. We haven't used any notoriety yet. If you fail and skip the rest of this turn's action phase. We don't want to do that. Gain 1 and gain 1 Hull. All right, we're still going to do it. All right, let's try to pass this. I'm going to wager Nemo for +2, and I'm going to wager the Hull for another +2. That's a 4. Roll 2 dice, and I got a 3. So 3 is not good. 3 is a fail, which means I lose what I wagered. So I wagered the Hull. I'm going to lose that, and I wagered Nemo. I'm going to lose that. Not good. I failed. Now, you know what I can do? I can re-roll. Yes. Where was I? The Hull and Nemo. I'm going to utilize this. So I'm going to get rid of that card to gain a re-roll. So I'm going to get rid of that. We're going to re-roll these dice. I don't like that. Oh my gosh. Oh, it's a 9. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Barely passed it. Whew! So you pass it, you gain 1 notoriety. I really don't need it, but I do gain 1 Hull. So we'll put these back, and I gain 1 Hull resource. That's awesome. All right, and that goes in the pass. We passed that. This also, at the end of the game, will give us 3 adventure card victory points. All right, next we're going to place the hidden ships. Nice. We have a 1 and a 6. That's awesome because we get to place a hidden ship in the Western Pacific, and we get to put a hidden ship in the Indian Ocean, and our differential is 5, so we get a 5. 5 is the maximum action points you can ever gain, but that's awesome. So we have 5 action points to do a lot of stuff here. So what I'm looking at is I'm going to move because we've got a lot of ships over here in the European seas, and I want to start getting rid of some of those because, of course, one of the ways you can lose the game is if all the seas get filled with ships and you can't place any more, you would lose the game. I do want to take advantage of getting rid of some of the ships, although they don't do a lot of, a lot to help us. I do want to open up some of these spots. So it costs to move 1 sea, it costs 1. So I'm going to use 1 action point, and I'm going to move from the North Atlantic to the European seas. As you see these blue lines, you can follow those. The Nautilus can move between seas on those. These dotted lines are only for placement of hidden ships and revealing ships. But there is a way, if we ever use the Arabian Tunnel, to actually join some of these with the blue line, so we can utilize the movement of those. There's a card for that eventually, hopefully. All right, so we move to the European seas. Next, I want to attack some of these ships. Our choice now is, do we want to do a bold attack, which allows you to continue to attack other ships? It does cost notoriety to do so. Or we can do a Stalk Attack. Now, since sinking a bunch of ships isn't going to do us a lot of help with our victory points, we may want to start out by sinking some ships so we can add them over here to eventually buy some upgrades. So I think that's what we're going to do. Now, if you use a Stalk Attack, unless you have a card that allows you to do multiple Stalk Attacks, you can only do one attack. But you do get a +1 DRM on your attack, which is nice. You know what I'm going to do? I think I'm going to do a Stalk Attack. Attacks cost 1. So I'm going to move that down to 3. I'm going to do a Stalk Attack on this ship here. So what does that do? Well, we have to reveal a ship. This goes away. We go to the ship bag and draw a ship. And we're going to draw. All right. Well, it's a freighter, so it's called the America. So you notice here on these ships, this is not a warship. So it has no attack value. It's not going to attack us in its current form. But it does have a defense of 10. It does have a value of 3. We get a -1 for every non-warship we sink. So that's only going to give us 2 points, but it is going to give us 2 notoriety. People are going to start noticing us. That's all right. We're still early in the game. So we're going to do a Stalk Attack. How do you do combat? Well, the warship would attack first. This is not a warship, so we don't have to worry about that. So then all of us gets to attack. We get to roll the 2d6 versus the ship's defense. So the ship's defense is a 10. I get a +1 DRM. And I can utilize one of my ship resources to give me, another DRM. So what do I want to do? I think I am going to risk I'm going to add a +3 here by risking the crew. You can only use 1. So that gives me +3, +4 to my die roll. I just need a 6 or higher. Let's see what we get. And I got an 8. Absolutely no problem. So we sunk the America. I'm going to take this and put it over here. So these are salvage points that we can earn to help us refit. So these cost different points, as you can see over here: 1, 3, 2, and 1. Not too bad. That's something that we might be able to do immediately. Anyways, that attack is done. What are we going to do next? Well, I think since we're there, I think we're going to search. Since there is a gemstone here, we can search for a treasure. Use this success table over here. So when you search, you can add +1 for exerting any one ship's resource. I think we will probably do that. +1 with Arcane Library. I do not have Arcane Library. -1 for revealed ship token. All right, so in that area we have no revealed ship tokens, so we don't have to worry about that negative DRM. All right, I'm cool. We're going to do, we're going to do +2 from the haul. And we're going to roll 2 dice and see what we come up with. All right, got an 8. +2 is 10. If you look on the chart here, 9 and 11 is a success. We collect 1 treasure. So we remove the gemstone. We go to the treasure bag and draw 1 treasure. Dig down deep, Ted. All right. 3. Well, 3 points of treasure. We get 0 for our treasure added to it at the end of the game, so that's not bad. 3 points of treasure. I'm going to put them up here in my collected treasure box. All right. So that cost 1, to search. So I moved. I attacked a ship. Now, we can't save 2. So what else are we going to do? I'm going to incite in this area. So cost 1 to incite. We have either the Fenian Troubles or the Spanish Revolution. Let's start the Spanish Revolution. All right, so how do we incite? So with incite, you can get plus X for exerting any one ship's resources. Oh, I think, again, we will exert the hull for plus 2. Plus X for any one spent treasure token's VP value. So I can spend my treasure token and add 3 to the roll. Plus 1 with Arcane Library, we don't have. Plus 2 with Sunken Treasure Fleet, don't have that. Minus 1 per revealed ship token, no revealed ship tokens. Minus 1 per Uprising cube already placed in the ocean, we have none. So I think I'm just going to do the hull plus 2 and see what happens. And horrible. All right, so what happens when you roll a double 1? Well, double 1 is horrible. So what happens? We rolled a double 1 on insight. So you automatically get the worst, which is resentment, no effect, but I gain 2 notoriety. And I also, risk the hull. I lose the hull as well. Okay, I lose 1 hull resource. And of course, I did not achieve my insight as I had hoped. All right, so what are we going to do next? I think what we're going to do is end that turn because I want to save the action point for next turn. All right, that wasn't very good. Next, we have to reveal another adventure card. All right, Aurora Australis. Few have seen the southern lights, the Aurora Australis. As we sailed from Madagascar past Prince Edward Island near Antarctica, we joined those few. Ned recalled a whaling story, but Conseil and I, dazzled, paid scant attention. So this is a keeper. Pass if the Nautilus begins the action phase in Cape Horn. At game's end, fail if unused. I see. So we get to keep this. And what we're going to do is put it down here. Now, when we ever get down to Cape Horn and we begin the action phase in Cape Horn, we can add this to our pass pile. If we keep it in our hand, if it's still in our hand at the end of the game, we have to put it in the failed pile. So that really wasn't a lot, but it does have 1 wonder. And of course, we can do ×4 for any victory points at the end of the game. So that's something to think about. All right, so next we have to do the add the ships, placement phase, and oh, nice. Well, we got another 1 and another 6. So we're going to place 1 in sea number 1, the Western Pacific. We're going to place another one over here in the Indian Ocean, number 6. The differential is 5, but we did save 1, so the most we can have in a turn is 5. All right, so we've done that. Now, we get to take some actions. What do we want to do? I think... Oh, well, our notoriety isn't too bad. All right, let's do another adventure. Adventures cost 2. We have 5. Let's do another adventure card. I'm going to draw an adventure card here. Sydney Intercolonial Exhibition. We walked to Prince Alfred Park, where outside were bands and agricultural displays. Inside, we saw carriages, pianos, specimens of auriferous quartz, a road steamer, printing machines, and paper, and sampled some truly excellent biscuits. This is another keeper. All right, so to do the adventure, you have to pass adventure card test modifiers. This really has none, so we don't have to pass any test to keep this adventure card. It's just a keeper. When the Nautilus is in the South Pacific, South Pacific, where's South? Over here. You may pass and either A, immediately collect one gemstone from the top of the adventure deck, or B, add one gemstone to the top of the adventure deck, or C, place one discarded ship token on the salvage track if there is room for it. At game's end, if I still have it in my tableau, you have to put it in the failed slot. All right, so that costs 2. What else can we do? I think we're gonna move down here to the Indian Ocean. That costs 1. And I think we're going to do another Stalk Attack down here. I just want to build up my salvage points over here so I can start getting some of these Nautilus upgrades. All right, let's draw a ship. What do we have? Well, we have a ghost, Mary Celeste. Again, not a warship. All right, so we're going to do a Stalk Attack. We get +1 DRM for that. I'm going to go ahead and wager a hull for +2, so that gives us +3. And we just need a 7 or higher. We just need a 7 or higher. I got to roll in the box. It's a 7, plus that's fine. We've defeated the Mary Celeste. I'm going to add it over here. Now this has no additional notoriety, so that's fine. It was a Stalk Attack. We don't have to worry about that. All right, we have 2 left. You know what? I'm going to try another Insight again. Again, I'm going to wager the ship for +2. Oh, is there anything else I can do for plus modifier? One spent treasure token. I can do the treasure token. I don't need those. I think I'm gonna wager it this time because last time I kind of screwed myself. So I'm gonna wager 3. I'm gonna spend 3 for my collected treasure to add 3 plus 2 is 5. Let's roll the 2 dice on the chart. And we have 7. So we have 12. 12 or higher. Revolt. Place 1 cube and -2 notoriety. Awesome. Where do we want to put it? The Abyssinia at war or the Selangor Civil War? Let's do the Civil War. All right, so we incited down there. That's awesome. Plus, we get -2 on a notoriety track. That's awesome. Nice. All right. So that cost, Insight cost 1. I moved 1. So I was on 5. I moved 1. I attacked. And then we incited. I have 2 left. I'm going to use the first officer's Irrepressible. So remove this for one free adventure action. It's free. Let's see what we do here. Novel proposal. The first thing I noticed was a range of mountains about 2,000 feet high, the shape of which were most capacious. I knew that we were nearing the island of Ceylon, the pearl which hangs from the lobe of the Indian peninsula. It's a test. Move that back. It's 9 needed, and you can wager to haul, pass, and reveal one additional Nautilus upgrade card, which is now available for purchase, or fail. Plus, for exerting any or all ship resources allowed on the card. This only allows for the haul. All right, let's use the haul, +2. Is a 6. So I failed. That sucks. So this goes in the fail pile, and I lose the hull. That sucks. But that was free. Didn't help us out with anything. Still have 2 points left. You know what I could do? I could heal up here. I could try to heal my crew or my hull. If you look over here, if you rest, you can potentially gain up to 2 crew. If you repair, you can potentially gain up to 2 hull. Or we could refit. I have 2 over here. I don't know. I think I want to repair my hull if at all possible, because I'm way down here. I can only get 1 + 1 if I do that. So let's do repair. How much does repair cost? Repair costs 2, so I'm going to use 2. I'm not going to leave any left over. And we can exert either Nemo or the crew. If I exert the crew, I get a +3. I'm going to do so. What else can I do? +X for any 1 spent treasure token. I don't have any left. -1 for any warships present. There are no warships present in the Indian Ocean. All right, come on, baby. Oh, I got it. That's awesome. So I don't need to worry about that. I can move that back, and I got, 15. So I gained 2 hull. Beautiful. Now I'm at top health of my hull. Awesome. I think that was worth it. Need a drink. All right, let's move on. We're moving on. Another adventure card. The iceberg. Everything was frozen, even the noise. The Nautilus was then obliged to stop in its adventurous course amid these fields of ice. In spite of our efforts, the Nautilus remained immovable. This is another test. Now you can wager Nemo and the hull. I need a 9 to pass, and gain 2 additional +2 action points to spend this turn. Only, even if this exceeds the action point. What? Even if this exceeds the action point maximum of 5. That's awesome. Fail and lose 1 Nemo or 2 hull. But I can wager Nemo and the hull. All right, let's do that. We're going to wager Nemo and the hull. That's +4. I think that I'm not going to use anything else right now. I need a 9 or higher. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and use this card here. Ned's Land Tempers. So if I put this in the pass pile before a future test roll for a +3 DRM. So now I'm at 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Of course, I can't get less than a 9. So I automatically pass. I gain 2 additional action points to spend this turn only, even if it exceeds the action point. That's awesome. So we pass that, goes up here. Let's see, let's roll for our ship placement and our differential. So we're placing our hidden ship at 1. Now, number 1 is full, so we have to place it at a connecting ocean. Arctic Ocean is right next to it, connected. We're going to use that, place that there, and then at number 3, we get to place another hidden ship, and 3 has several openings, so we can place that there. The differential is 2. 1, 2. Plus, because of our past test, we get an additional 2. All right, that's awesome. So, what are we going to do with all those action points? Well, I think what we're going to do first is move. Do we want to move? Yeah, we can move. I'm going to move. And we can use this here to the Western Pacific. Western Pacific is over here. All right, there's plenty hidden ships there. I think I want to get rid of a couple of those if we can. So we're at the Western Sea, and what we're going to do is I'm going to do a bold attack because I think I want to get rid of a couple of these down here. All right, let's reveal a ship down here. Oh, so an attack, of course, costs 1. So we're going to use 1 to attack. And I drew another. That's a clipper. Another non-warship. That's awesome. Put that there. We're going to do a bold attack on this clipper. Of course, they're not going to attack us because they have no firepower. We just need a 9. And I think what we're going to do is move those back. Keep forgetting to move those back. We're going to exert. We need a 9. I'm going to exert the hull for a +2. And see what we can get with this bold attack here. And we got a 6, 7, 8. That's not enough. Is there anything else that we can do though? You may fail after future D6 roll for +2 DRM as emergency help. Do I want to do that? Yeah, I'm going to use this here. So this one says that you may fail after any future 2d6 roll for +2 DRM as emergency help. So I'm going to fail that. I'm going to get +2, which is 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and that defeats this ship here. Again, I'm going to add it over here. It does say I get 1 notoriety, but of course, gain 1 fewer notoriety per ship. Oh, that's only in a stalk attack. So I'm going to get 1 notoriety for sinking that clipper. I do want to continue attacking, so I'm going to attack this ship. It does cost me 1 notoriety to continue attacking. Let's see what ship we find under here. And flip that over. It's another. Holy crap, though. You can lose 3 notoriety for sinking this male ship. Great. But, I mean, it's not going to attack us. So, get rid of that. All right, what do we got? So, we're going to sink the male ship. I'm going to utilize... I think one crew here. Could I get +3 to my die roll? I need a 9. Oh my goodness. Let's see what we get. 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, I need one more. Oh, geez. Nope, there's not anything I can do. Well, I could utilize Ned Land for 1 DRM after the roll. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That'll give me 9. I don't want to utilize him so early, but or I can do a re-roll with Conceal, but that could screw me. So I'm going to use Ned Land. Now he's going to give me 1 DRM, which is going to allow us to have 9 and pass, but he's going to add 1 notoriety, and defeating this ship, of course, gives me 3 notoriety, although I can gain 1 fewer. Nope, it's from a Stalk Attack, and I didn't Stalk Attack. Gosh darn it. All right, I'm going to add this up here. I'm going to gain 3 more. 1, 2, 3. I'm not going to attack anymore. Also, if you use a bold attack and then... Oh, wait a second. I can't do that. I can't even do that. Oh, well, let's rewind that. You know what? I'm just going to say that we put this... I made a mistake here. If you put a ship in the salvage area after you do a bold attack, you have to stop. I didn't do it. I'm not going to mess with it. I'm just going to say that we didn't do that. Western Pacific, I'm going to add the first ship we sunk to the Western Pacific. Yeah. Wait a second. What am I doing? I gotta get that ship back. All right. So I'm just gonna add that 1 ship to the Western Pacific, and then we're still going to take all our damages there. Sorry about that little mistake. But I can, moving forward, I can use the negotiator. I can remove this for -3 notoriety. I think I'm going to do that. May as well use it now. 1, 2, 3. Back down to 3. All right, that wasn't great play, Tad, but I think I straightened it out. All right, what are we going to do next? So we are in the Western Pacific. We have 2 left. I'm thinking about doing a refit on the Nautilus. We have 3 over here to utilize. We do have the crystalline sensors. So each placement phase, you may re-roll 1 die or 1 die 1 time and apply that result. Also, we have electrocoil bolts. During each occasion when you sink a ship token, you may change its notoriety impact to a -1 reduction instead by taking 1 additional hull hit. I don't even know if that's really decent. This one is Nemo's Manifesto. After passing an insight action, you may then spend 1 ship resource using its DRM as a further reduction in notoriety. If it would have provided a +3 DRM, you instead receive an additional -3 notoriety. That's not bad. It only costs 1. And then, of course, we have the electric horns. Once per action phase, you may spend 1 action point for -1 notoriety, -2 during a lull turn. I think we're going to try to do that because I like that. I like to keep my notoriety down. So let's try that. Let's try to do a refit. So a refit costs 2 points. The refit, I need at least a 7 to succeed. I can exerting 1 ship resource. Let's use the crew again for a +3. Plus for any 1 spent treasure token. I don't have any spent treasure tokens. -1 for any warship present. There are no warship presents. So we get a +3 to our die roll. Let's see what happens. 7 + 3 is a 10. Refit 9 to 11 is success. Gain 1 upgrade. So I'm going to want the electric horn. The electric horn is going to cost 1. So we will remove 1 of those and add this to our tableau. Once per action phase, you may spend 1 action point for -1 notoriety or -2 during a lull. It says, playing horns at sea to communicate was an ancient tradition from the conch to the bugle. When amplified by the Nautilus's electricity, projected imitations of the sky and ocean sound carried afar. Well, beyond the cacophony of battle or the eerie rhythmic churning of our engines. All right, sweet. So that's our first refit. That's awesome. That cost us 2, and we're done. All right, moving forward. Put that back, Tad. Another adventure. All by electricity. Professor, said Captain Nemo, my electricity is not everybody's. I owe all to the ocean. It produces electricity, and electricity gives heat, light, motion, and, in a word, life to the Nautilus. This is a keep event. Pass at any time during your action phase to immediately receive an additional 1d3 of actions this turn. If it's kept in your tableau till the end of the game, you get to pass it if it's unused. But why would you not use it? All right, let's put that down there. It's a keep. It's a keeper. Next, let's place some ships. Another 6 and a 1. Been rolling several of those. So, Western Pacific, Area 1, and the Indian Ocean, Area 6. The differential is 5. Gets us plenty of stuff to do. That's awesome. So, what am I going to do here? Well, let's move down. You know what we could do? We could move down to the South Pacific and then maybe utilize this one down here next turn, the Sydney Intercolonial Exhibition. But first, let's do, let's search first. We've got a gem there. Let's do a search. Well, you know what I'm going to do first? Oh, geez, Tad. Let's do a rest. A rest costs 2. I want to see if I can get my crew back up. Costs 2 to do a rest. I can exert Nemo or the hull. We'll exert the hull for +2. +1 plus for any 1 spent treasure, no treasure token, and -1 for warships. There are no warships present. Well, got +2. Let's see what we can do here. 7 + 2 is a 9. We're doing a rest. 9 is recreation. Gain 1 crew. Well, that helps us. That's nice. Next, what are we going to do? I think we're going to... Let's try to incite. All right, so we're going to incite in this area. It only costs 1 to incite, so that's 1. Plus, for exerting any one ship resource, we're going to exert the crew, because that gives us a +3. +1 for any ship treasure tokens, we don't have any. +1 for arcane library, we don't have any. +2 for sunken treasure fleet, we have none. -1 for revealed ship tokens, none. -1 for any additional Uprising cubes, we have none. All right, so we're gonna have a, whoops, we're gonna have a +3 from the crew. We're gonna try to incite. 9 + 3 is 12, incite. Place 1 and -2 notoriety. Awesome. Where do we wanna, we're gonna put it in the Shogun Rebellion right here. And we get -2 notoriety. That's awesome. Beautiful, good turn there. All right, next, we still have 2 left. We could do an adventure for 2. Or we could search the treasure for 1, or we could, nope, you know what I want to do? I want to move down here to the South Pacific, so I want to take advantage of this card here. So we're going to move down here to the South Pacific for 1, and I'm going to stop there and leave 1 available for us. All right, moving forward. Adventures. This is another keep card. Sweet. As Master Wishes. In Conceal, I had a seasoned specialist in biological classification, an enthusiast who could run with acrobatic agility up and down the whole ladder of branches, groups, classes, subclasses, orders, families, genera, subgenera, species, and varieties. Keep, if Conceal is still in play, which he is, during any one future action phase, you may spend up to 3 actions to collect +1 treasure for each such action spent. Afterward, or if when Conceal is not in play, fail. At game's end, pass if unused. Well, I guess we would probably use it. I'm not sure when, but we'll put it down here. Any one action, you may spend up to 3 actions to collect +1 for each action spent. I don't know. That's a keeper. All right, what are we going to do? Oh, South Pacific. So I wanted to utilize this card. It says it's a keeper. When Nautilus is in the South Pacific, you may pass and either A, immediately collect 1 gemstone from the top of the adventure deck. We don't have any on the adventure deck. Add 1 gemstone to the top of the adventure deck. Or place 1 discarded ship token on the salvage track, if there is room for it. I'm just going to pass it and add 1 treasure token to the adventures deck. All right. So that's that. Let's roll for ship placement. Okay, so we have a 4 and a 4. So what happens when you roll doubles? Well, when you roll doubles, you get a lull turn. What happens during a lull turn? Several things. We can look over here. Placement phase continued. Place ships tokens only for the white dice. We have a 4 and a 4. So we have to place 2 in area 4. We have 1. We have no more rooms, so we can go into Cape Good Hope or Cape Horn. I'm going to go to Cape Horn because I do want to go over there eventually. Next, place a treasure available token in the doubles ocean and on the adventure deck. Well, the doubles ocean already has a gemstone, so we're not going to put 1 there. And we get to add 1 over here to the adventures token. Now, I believe because there's already 1 there, we can put 1 in an adjacent zone. I would have to look it up. We'll look it that up between these videos, but I'm just going to add one to here for now. I believe I can do that. If not, I'll correct it. Check Uprising cubes and receive 0 actions. Good thing we saved 1 action, but now we have to check the Uprising cube. So what do you do there? You use this here. It says on lull turns, check every ocean with Uprising cubes connected to it. Add the number of Uprising cubes and the number of revealed ships in that ocean and roll a d6. If the result is greater than or equal to the total, no effect. If the result is lower than the total, either A, remove 1 cube connected to that ocean, or gain that die roll result in notoriety. So we have to do it in each ship that we have an Uprising cube. So first we'll do this one here. Roll d6. Now you add up, the number of cubes, which is 1, and the number of revealed ships. And there are no revealed ships, so it's not going to be difficult for us to beat, of course. So greater than or equal to, no effect. Of course, over here, the same thing. I mean, you can't roll less than that. It's 4. We don't have to do anything with those. So that's great. All right, so the action phase, rest, repair, refit, and adventure actions cost -1 action point. So luckily, because it's a lull turn, I had saved 1 point. Now I can do everything over here, only costs 1. So that's pretty cool. Let's go ahead and what can I do? I can do an adventure. Let's do an adventure. It only costs 1 instead of 2. So now I can get 2 if I do this. What do we have here? The Torres Straits. Ooh, this gives us one of the science discovered, which is ×6 in our motive. So this one we really want to do. It's a keeper though. Let me read it. The Torres Straits are nearly 34 leagues wide, but they are obstructed by an innumerable quantity of islands, islets, breakers, and rocks. The Nautilus, floating betwixt wind and water, went at a moderate pace. Her screw, like a cetacean's tail, beat the waves slowly. These are cool. They're using things from the books. I have read the novel actually several times and watched all the different movies. Really love the theme. Anyways, I do like how they utilize this art and tell a story as they're playing the game. I think it's pretty cool. All right, keep. Immediately after moving between the Indian Ocean and the Western Pacific, so if you're over here, and you go between those two, either way, you may perform this test. 4 + 1 notoriety. It's a 7, and you can wager a hull. Shouldn't be hard to not pass. If you pass, receive +2 action points this turn only, even if this exceeds the action point maximum of 5, or fail, and you cannot save 1 action this turn. At game's end, fail is if unused. So we get to keep this. Let's put this down here for now. We're not in the Indian Ocean or the Western Pacific, so we can't utilize that right now. All right. So that was the only thing we could do because it's a null turn, but we did keep this, so we get to utilize the 2 gems and draw 2 treasures. Let's get something that, like a reroll. Reroll would be great. All right. This one. Oh, there we go. Pyramids of Yanguini. So you get 1 Wonder Seed. That's ×4 for us. That's awesome. Put that up here in our collected treasure. Draw another one out of the bag. And we have... Nice. All right, so remove to draw 4 treasure tokens. Select 1 and return the other 3. So you have to do that now. So I'll get rid of that. I get to draw 4 treasure tokens, keep 1, and remove 3. All right, that's 1 retain, 1 lost Mayan city, 1 great reef barrier, and 2. All right, so I can get rid of that one, +1 action, or keep for 2. These are times 4. So I think I'm just going to keep the lost Mayan city and put these 3 back in the bag. So that's not bad. I mean, on this turn so far, we've got, 8 points. Not a lot, but better than nothing. And that was a lull turn, so yeah, I think we did pretty good on that turn. All right, let's keep going. Act 2. I was admiring the magnificent aspect of the ocean when Captain Nemo appeared. He did not seem to be aware of my presence and began a series of astronomical observations. Then, when he had finished, he went and leant on the cage of the watchlight and gazed abstractedly on the ocean. So this is the first intermission. We're going to add now a black dice to our rolls, our placement rolls. And it says, add the dark yellow reinforcement ship group to the ship draw pool and continue play with the next card. All right, so the dark yellow is this for the first intermission. Remember, there is a Deadly Seas in there now too, so now we've got 4 Deadly Seas in the bag. It says roll 2 white dice and 1 black die to begin each placement phase. All right, so now we are in Act 2. That's exciting because we know that Nadine Dakar will be entering the crew shortly in one of these cards. All right, so far, I think we're doing okay. I'm going to stop the video here. Hopefully I didn't make too many mistakes. I know I made one over here, but I tried to fix that. Oh, we didn't fill this area. I'm going to fill that with a new Nautilus upgrade card. That's Clockwork Cipher. Once during each action phase, you may flip any 1 revealed ship token in the Nautilus's ocean for free. So that's actually not a bad one. But anyways, let's stop the video here, and we'll start the next video with Act 2. Thank you, everyone.